I'm wondering if it's because we already recorded a show. Oh, now it's recording.
Right
What the heck?
Well, good evening.
Good evening. So we're having a couple of technical issues here tonight, but I am Stuart Sternberg. I'm joined by John Maloney, Darlene Nagy, and Kurt. This is the WDW Fan Zone show. I hope things work out tonight, the way things are going here. This is our second show of the night that we're recording. Basically, what we've done is instead of combining the two shows, we decided to separate them again, but record the same night. So we're trying to work the kinks out. Hopefully, we'll have that done, and you'll be able to enjoy each show individually or collectively because you can hear them both the same night if you like, or day. We're celebrating. What are we celebrating? Oh yeah, Animal Kingdom's 25th anniversary. It's hard. I was there when it opened 25 years ago. Didn't see the opening ceremony because I was there with two very young children. And that's funny. You were there. Were you there the day it opened, Darlene?
I was there on the 19th.
So that wasn't the official opening.
That was the preview, like a couple days before.
Yeah, we were there the official opening day, but running around with two small children, a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. It was fun.
It was amazing.
The park has changed significantly over the years. The basic concept is still there, but it has changed significantly over the years. Do you guys think it's a better park today than it was when it first opened?
That's a tough call. It was very it was back when they were doing edutainment. So the whole thing with Kali River Rapids was talking about deforestation and everything else. That whole message is gone now. Mm-hmm. So there's no fire burning. There's no truck falling off the side into the water. And
yeah.
So that's kind of gone away from that. Same thing with the storyline of Kilimanjaro Safari. That's kind of gone away from the poaching aspect of it as well.
It has. Well, times have changed, so
right.
They've had to get more politically correct over the years. More. When I say this is going to sound like an oxymoron, but more or less violent. Like Dinosaur. Dinosaur was a very I want to say very hard ride. When I say hard, I don't mean
movements were more aggressive.
Right. It was right. That's a good way to put it. A much more aggressive,
more
ride.
Intense,
more intense, even better than it is now. It's been dumbed down over the years.
They needed something for younger children to be able to
ride. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wish.
Which is fine.
It is. Now, Disney is meant for families. And I know they have to do certain things. And as the times change, they have to go with the times. And they can't be all things to all people all the time. But they try their best. And they kind of, if it's the 18 to 35-year-olds that want something, they'll give them an attraction. But when Disney was created for families, so 90+% of the parks are going to be geared towards families. And what do families have? Grandparents, parents, young children, maybe, tweens or teens. There are young adults that go to the parks. That they've got to cater to all different groups, but they're really going to cater to the family as much as possible.
Yeah. Well, and they also have to adjust to how they see the attractions being experienced and perceived.
Right. So, and what the feedback is.
Right. So, I mean, that's good. That's what they should do. Is they shouldn't build something and say, okay, we know what the best thing was from the beginning, and we're going to ignore the feedback.
Yeah. Now, I would like the more intense version of Dinosaur to come back. However, Disney is not going to just, like, if two people complain or scream loud, oh my God, it's too difficult. My brain's rattled. They're not going to change it. But if there are enough people that complain, which is why they dumped it down over the years, because there were enough people that complained and said it's too intense for them. They wanted something a little less scary, a little, you know.
There were adults intimidated by
Oh, I know plenty.
Down to Extinction later dinosaur.
Yeah. Oh, I know plenty that were, that did not like how intense it was in having that dinosaur pop its head right into your face.
Right,
I
and not
thought it
only
was-
that, just the intensity of the movements themselves.
Mhm.
I mean, my dad used to complain that even being on Kilimanjaro Safari hurt his back. It was too bumpy. I couldn't imagine my dad trying to ride that thing.
Mhm.
Didn't
Yeah,
throw
you
it
know,
all around in that thing.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I
I like the
still,
way it was too.
I still like riding it.
Yeah, I do too. But I don't go out of my way for it anymore.
Mm-mm.
Which one don't you go out of the way for? Dinosaur?
No, Kilimanjaro.
Kilimanjaro, really?
Yeah.
Oh, we do.
In Kilimanjaro Safari, I normally ride every time.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been in Animal Kingdom and ridden attractions and not ridden Kilimanjaro safaris. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. I just want to make mention of something. Jess, who did the news show with us earlier, was getting severe thunderstorms. I just got a warning here that we may be getting them. So we hope we make it through the whole show.
John and I are safe.
Yeah.
I got blue skies out. Well, story up.
Yeah.
I've got black skies out, but they're clear.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We haven't gotten anything yet, so
Well, you guys aren't down here in Florida, so Darlene is.
yeah, we
Yeah,
might be okay.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, maybe we won't be okay. It's pretty yellow and green coming towards me.
All right. Well, anyway, let's get back to Animal Kingdom.
What is your ride that you miss the most that's not there anymore?
For me, it's a show. It's not a ride.
Okay.
For me, it's Tarzan Rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Tarzan Rocks was a show that I loved too.
Me too.
Yeah. Anybody have any? What's everybody else's? That's a good question, Darlene.
What? I mean, other than like reimagineering things, they reimagineered Countdown to Extinction of the Dinosaurs, so it's still there. Everything's still there except for the
Camp Mini Mickey, but that wasn't really attractive.
Right. And
No.
Pocahontas was a show, and it was like, I'm glad it came and went.
Yeah.
And over there in the why can't I think Chester and Hester's Dinorama with I can't think of the name of the spinning one.
A Primeval World.
Primeval World.
Yeah, I don't miss Primeval World.
No,
not really.
Yeah. So what else? What else is extinct from Animal Kingdom?
I don't think there's much of anything extinct.
There really isn't too much. I do miss the fact that they don't really do much in that lagoon anymore, where they were trying to do the Festival of Kites and
they had the boat rides there for a very short time.
Yep.
Very short time.
I was never in one of those.
Yeah.
I have. You didn't miss anything.
Oh, really? I remember when the park first opened, I wanted to do that at some point in time. And I don't think they were open. When the park opened, I don't think all of Asia was open for that matter. I think there was a large part of it that still had not been
correct.
Open.
Right.
Correct.
The boats looked like they were going to be fun, and we never did it.
I like the updated Finding Nemo.
Yes, that's a wonderful show. I think that's my favorite show in all the parks.
It's the most well produced, I think.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. That's one thing I can say about Animal Kingdom. They've got the two best shows on property.
Lion King is great.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Do you guys still take the trails when you go there?
Yes.
Yes.
Gorilla Falls trails and
Raha.
Those are a lot of fun.
Maharaji's Jungle Track.
Yeah.
That's fun.
It's funny. A lot of people talk about how hot Animal Kingdom is, and they'll refer to other places. Oh, it's Animal Kingdom hot today.
Mhm.
But think about how the parks are situated now. I think Animal Kingdom offers a lot more shade
Shade.
because of the trees than all the other parks combined.
They do.
And yes, it does get hot in the sun, but you can find, like on the trails, you can find a lot of places with shade and places where you can just kind of relax and, I don't want to say cool off, but stay out of the sun.
One of the things that I enjoy now that wasn't before, we had Divine before, and Divine is still out occasionally.
Occasionally.
She was out last week.
Yeah, I do like the fact that we have Kevin walking around a lot.
Mhm. Are we keeping you up, John?
Sorry.
I
It's
know,
all right.
I
Don't
yawned
worry about
before
it.
too.
Past his bedtime.
Yeah. John's had a very hectic, busy, and
And it's catchy.
yeah.
Yeah, and of course I've got a little bit of a cold that came from people on the cruise. So.
Oh no.
Oh, that's a given.
Oh, sorry to hear. For those listening or watching us out there, we're not going to do a show as long as the one last week, nor are we going to get involved in any kind of political discussion this week either.
Oh,
So,
right. No.
we're going to stay far away from that. I think the message that Animal Kingdom puts out there is still great with conservation, the treatment, the very well treatment of, is that the right way to say it? Of the
Yeah.
animals that are
Of
there.
the animals, yes.
Yeah. I think they're doing a wonderful job there, with the animals, especially. I remember taking the Kilimanjaro Safari when it first opened. It's like, where's the animals? Where are they?
They were all
And,
hiding.
yeah, they were all hiding.
No,
Now
they did know how to hide very
yeah,
well.
they did. But now, it's like anytime you go, you're guaranteed to see, maybe not all the animals, but most of them.
Mhm.
And if you watch the Animal Kingdom series on Disney Plus,
Mhm.
Mhm.
you see how well they are cared for. So
Oh,
when
yeah.
they have the simplest procedures, and they have, they're doing checkups on them regularly, they're taking care of little issues with the animals so that they don't become bigger issues. They have huge numbers of cast members between veterinarians and technicians and other animal care people, so many of them working on every animal, and you don't see that
No,
in any other park or zoo.
that's very true.
I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but this is like a really good.
Well, for those who are listening to us on Apple Podcasts, you're not going to be able to see this.
Yeah, but if you're watching, so I had caught this when we were. While we were.
It's a
driving.
video of
It's a
the
video
lion.
of a
habitat.
The lion.
He.
There's the male lion flopping down on top of the rock.
That's funny. That's good timing with
He's-
that.
So
It
do
was.
you know how they
great
do that now?
timing.
Do you know how they get the lions to go out to those rocks? They air condition the rocks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they cool them off.
So it's the coolest spot for them to go to. So I don't know
He
if there's
was-
vents blowing up underneath or how they're doing it, but
He
That's
was
how we're
just
getting
such
him
a
out there now.
cutie.
Because he's well fed and behind an enclosure.
yes.
Exactly.
Yes. I don't mind when the rhino's right here and I could reach out and touch it. He's pretty tame. I don't want to reach out and touch the lion.
Oh, no.
That's too
no, no.
close.
And I like what they do. They give the perception that it's one continuous area, but the lions cannot get through to another section.
No.
A lot of natural barriers as well as
Mhm.
some
Mhm.
man-made barriers, but
Mhm.
you're
But a
right.
lot-
It does feel like it's just one big open park and one big open savanna.
Right.
Yeah.
And the animals that are together, they play very well together.
Yeah, they do.
Well, and again, the the cast members who care for them, they're watching them very closely. Again, if you watch these Animal Kingdom series,
Oh, I love that
even
series.
even the animals that are of the same species, they have to pay attention to them, that they're getting along well. And so the hippopotami, the female hippopotami, they introduce a new one. They had to make sure that she was taking care of herself and not being, overly disturbed by the others who had been more established there.
Mm-hmm.
The the Australian wild dogs?
Mm.
They had to pull, one of them had cancer and they had to check the other one or something like that. And they had to pull them off stage to get them checked out. But they couldn't take them off stage very long, because if they stay off for too long, then they're not part of the
It would disrupt
hierarchy
the pack, right?
It disrupts the pack. So they had to get them back in there and make sure that everyone was still respecting the hierarchy of the pack of who was wearing everything. And the way they just talked about that and showed all that, it was just amazing how well they did that.
Yep.
So good show. My wife watches it every night that it's on.
Now, do you guys feel the same way I do, that amongst Disney fans, Animal Kingdom probably and I don't mean it's bad, but they probably that park probably gets the least respect of all the parks that are there.
Easily.
And by that I mean, if there's a park to eliminate, if there's a park to miss, that's the one they pick.
Yeah, that's a tough thing. It's you have to say that respect equals number of visitors, and I think we all heavily respect Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Oh, absolutely.
That doesn't mean
in a disrespectful way.
Yeah, that doesn't mean we afford it the same number of hours as we do some of the other.
Correct.
Yeah,
There's so many areas that I haven't gone and walked around in years. And as I was looking, I'm like, oh, wow, I forgot. There's kangaroos right here in front by the Tree of Life. We haven't walked in that area in years to just walk around.
There's monkeys in the front area.
Yeah.
There's all different species of birds around.
Those parrots are all over the place.
There are.
Because they released those parrots, those macaws, and we've seen them flying all over the park.
We like to go to the bird show almost every time we go, and it's slightly different every time we've seen it. And sometimes it's because they use different cast members. Sometimes they use different jokes, different tricks with the birds. It's so that's definitely a great show that I think gets overlooked by a lot of people too.
Yes, that is a good one.
Well, it's funny. We've been talking about Disney's Animal Kingdom for almost 20 minutes, and we haven't mentioned Pandora.
No, we haven't.
Nor have we mentioned a certain attraction in Asia.
Expedition
Everest. Two of the biggest draws in the park.
Yeah.
Right.
Everest has been there for quite some time, but Pandora is relatively new. In terms of the age.
I think Everest was built in 06, 07.
Yeah,
I was looking back through photos.
I think you're right.
And I do like Pandora. It's a beautifully designed section of the park.
Yep.
It definitely added more. The 2 new rides is great. The walkthrough is wonderful.
Well, when you get right down to it, we always talked about how Disney Hollywood Studios was built as a half-day park, and there are really not a lot of attractions in it. And it kind of feels like a half-day park unless you're standing in line for a half a day just to ride Rise of the Resistance. And what did they do? They built Fantasmic to get you to go back at night. And they made it at 9 o'clock at night. So that's what brought people back to the park again. Well, look at what they did with Pandora. The Pandora is just so beautiful.
Yes.
And it's even more spectacular at night. When you walk through there at 9 o'clock at night, and you can't ride anything. It's all closed. Yes, you can go to the gift shop, but just walking around, everyone's quiet. You can hear all the noise in the background from the different animals. The predators are coming out, and just the waterfalls in the background and the light shining through there. All the black light that's coming through with all the ground and everything. It's fantastic. And I'm sorry, fantastic. And it brings people back to the park in the evening again. So
Right.
it's no longer just, oh, it's noon, it's hot, let's go back to the
Mhm.
hotel room. We don't need to go back. We saw everything we wanted to see.
Yeah, I think Pandora was a great addition. I think Everest was an unbelievably great addition as well. They're both unbelievably great. I wish Disney would have brought back Joe Rohde and other Imagineers because it was the 25th anniversary to just, have a little ceremony, something with them there and say, thank you.
You have to wonder if the olive branch was reached and declined.
It could have been because Joe Rohde, as we all know, is no longer associated with Disney officially.
I don't even know if he's currently in the United States. He might be in another country working right
That's
now.
very possible too. Very possible.
He just posted something. I'm trying to think what he posted.
Yeah, I saw him. It was a picture with someone else.
He was getting a He was getting a tattoo.
Yeah, he's a character, and I mean that in a very nice way. Yeah,
it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe that Animal Kingdom is 25 years old.
It is.
I mean, so Disney has not had a new park in 25 years, and we had gotten used to. Okay, they have one park with Magic Kingdom, and then 1982 they have the second park with Epcot.
Mm-hmm.
Then in the late 80s, they've got a new park with the Hollywood Studios, and then finally, in 25 years in Walt Disney World, they created 4 parks, and then the last 25 years, I mean, they've created some water parks, but no.
Yeah. We discussed this last week. I don't think a 5th park is coming anytime soon. I do think someday there will be one, but I think they've got more work ahead of them within the current 4 parks. And of course, without mentioning any names, if the culture here in Florida keeps going, they might say, "Hey, the hell with it," and move someplace else. That's fine.
Well, and I thought about this afterwards too. Part of that $17 billion has to be working on the current resorts.
Yep.
The roadways, that all needs to be updated constantly. It's not. It takes a lot to get this stuff working, and just to get things up to date and everything else, that costs money.
It does.
So,
and you know what else? Look at some retailers how they overexpand too quickly. And because of that, they go out of business. Well, you know what? It's the same thing with theme parks. Disney was very careful. They needed to, with all the resorts they had planned and the parks that they had planned, you got to fill them up first. And yes, they are filling them up. And I'm not talking about just parks and resorts. If you start to expand too quickly, well, then you've got all the space and all these employees that have to work in those spaces. And are you going to have enough guests there? I think now you'd say yes, you would, but that may not be true 2 or 3 years from now.
Yeah. I was just making a point about the fact that what we used to think of, and it still is the newest park, is now no longer new.
Correct.
No.
Correct. And I think that park and the others have more growing to do, and I think we're going to see some wonderful things there. They're going to do something in the Dino Land. What's the other area there? Hester and Chester.
Chester and Hester.
Yeah, they're going to do something wonderful over there. We don't know what that is yet. There's been a lot of conjecture out there. But I think from where the park was and where it is now, you look at Epcot, it's a vastly different park from what it was intended to be initially. You look at Disney's Hollywood Studios, it's not what it was. It's got a different meaning from what it had when it first opened as MGM Studios. Magic Kingdom has kept the magic. And the only other park that's kept its true theme, even though there's Pandora there now, is Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom.
But Camp Mini Mickey was always kind of a temporary land.
It was a placeholder.
And it was meant to be temporary.
Yeah.
Right. They didn't have the money to build Beastly Kingdom the way they wanted to,
Right.
and then they just abandoned the idea,
Mhm.
unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. I think that would have been great. We may not see Beastly Kingdom, but I'm hoping someday we'll see something along that line
But
somewhere.
they may not have created Beastly Kingdom, but they created something that it fits into the natural environment.
Yep.
But it is still something that is, whimsical, and it's not, natural to our, not natural to our planet, first of all. So it does have a similar kind of thing that, it's more of, fantastical creatures and environment than it is natural creatures and environment.
And might I add, Animal Kingdom has one of the very best counter service restaurants.
Oh, yes.
Which? Oh,
Satuli Canteen. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
There's a very vast number of good restaurants and counter services in Animal Kingdom.
Yes, there are.
Flame Tree Barbecue, the Yak and Yeti offshoot over there. That's really good.
Yep.
I like the sweet shop in the back by the Safari too.
Right. Well, and so Yak and Yeti, Tiffin's,
Yes.
and that the sweet shop and the market in Africa, those are all new since the park.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's another area where they've grown over the years.
Right.
Just improving their
When
food.
they first opened, there was a McDonald's in Animal Kingdom. That's not there anymore.
McDonald's French
better.
fries. There were. I think it was just the French fries.
No, they had an entire.
Was it a full-blown McDonald's?
Restaurant was a full-blown.
Oh, you're right. It was McDonald's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you could actually get the
Happy Meal toys.
The Happy Meal toys was the dinosaur from the movie Dinosaur.
I still have some of those.
I prefer Restaurantosaurus over McDonald's any day.
I do like Restaurantosaurus. They've got really good food.
You talked about Satuli Cantina. It's those the cheeseburger. What are they called? The bao
buns.
Bao buns.
That recipe is supposed to be based off of a recipe from Joe Rohde's family.
Oh, really?
That's what that is, and that's what you're eating. Apparently, it was. I don't know. I read an article somewhere just about it last week.
Huh. That's interesting. I did not know that. And then you still have Rainforest Cafe at the entrance too.
I have not been there.
I've never gone to.
I've never gone to that one.
I went the first year. The first year it was open, I went there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pouring out here now. I can hear the rain hitting the walls of my house. We went to
here before.
Rain. We did go to Rainforest Cafe when we were down there in '98 with wasn't that one of our trips, early trips with the kids. We did go to Rainforest Cafe. Then we realized, hey, you know what? There's one in New Jersey. We were living there. And we said, okay, we don't have to go there anymore at Disney World. We can do that here.
Well, we got to the one over at Downtown Disney at the time when it was Downtown Disney.
Yep.
With my parents, because they wanted to go. They'd never been to one. And they're like, what do you think? And we're like, it's just like the one we have up here at the mall.
I'd like to see them change the theming to that. I'd like to keep it an animal theme there if they can, but change it from the rainforest to something different than they have anywhere else.
Ours have closed.
Wow, really?
It's lost its spark. Yeah.
I don't know. I think the one in Niagara Falls is still open, but it wasn't close for us to go to. Whereas we would come down here and we would make a stop there or at T-Rex.
Those restaurants are great if you have young children.
Oh, yes. They love it.
They're fascinated by everything that's going on, and it does keep them busy.
It does.
My kids didn't like the food. They didn't like the bread. Yeah, the bread, and because it was like it had all the seeds and stuff in it, just the funky stuff like that. They just weren't fans. It was a texture thing. My son wasn't really excited with all the different. He's the picky eater. He wasn't too excited with all the different. It was different, and he didn't like that.
Well, I have a nephew, and when he was younger, he's not like that anymore. But when he was younger, didn't matter what restaurant he went to, he would only order mozzarella sticks. That's it. That's the only thing he would eat.
Nice.
That's funny.
Yeah, he's outgrown that though. But it's Animal Kingdom has so much, always had so much to offer. It still does have so much to offer, and the theming may not fit the other parks, and it might not have been something that Walt would have ever imagined to do as it was initially constituted and how it is now. But I'm so grateful that we have it there.
Well, you've got diversity across the parks.
Mm-hmm.
There's certainly some overlap in the parks, but each one of them has a distinct character, distinct theming, and offering. So you can get things in the Animal Kingdom that you can't get in any of the 3 parks.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So we used to have three rainforest cafes within like a 45-minute radius.
Mm-hmm.
There's one available still, and it's an hour and a half away.
Wow. So
COVID hit hard.
Rainforest is a Landry restaurant. They
As
also
is Yak and Yeti.
This is Yak and Yeti. They also run Space 220 and Epcot.
T-Rex Cafe.
Rex since Disney Springs, Rainforest Cafe in Disney Springs. And all throughout the Orlando area, they've got multiple restaurants with different themes. And, it's notwithstanding your kids, Kurt, I think Landry restaurants are pretty cool. And the food is
They just didn't like the Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah.
The buns more than anything else. They figured something out to eat. But
so the point I was trying to make was that even though Disney doesn't operate and run all the restaurants that are on property, the Landry restaurants, for the most part, you're going to have a good meal and a good time and a good experience. And the Rainforest Cafe does fit Animal Kingdom. I just wish they would do something else, because you can find it elsewhere. Maybe not as much as you used to, Kurt.
They do still have
just
the one
not
in the
available.
Sheridan in Niagara Falls. I just looked.
Yeah, nice.
There's still one at the Mall of America. That might have been the first place we ever ate at it.
There's one at the Mall of America?
Yeah.
I'll have to try to remember. That mall was so big, it was unbelievable.
It takes 2 days just to walk through the mall.
I know.
It takes longer to get through the Mall of America than it does to get through Animal Kingdom.
I wonder how Mall America is doing with the way malls are dying these days.
It's a 3-level mall.
It actually, last I heard, it is doing okay.
Yeah. So let's go around. Favorite attraction. Could be a show, could be an Animal Kingdom. Yesterday or today, all time.
Just heard thunder.
Yeah.
Flight of Passage.
Kachika. No, wrong thunder. Favorite.
I'll go Flight of Passage.
Flight of Passage.
Yeah, I'll go Flight of Passage. If you've never been on it, I hate to give away spoilers. So it's incredible. You really do feel like you're flying. That thing is living underneath of you.
I hate to agree with you, but I am agreeing with you.
See?
I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I really enjoy it.
I do too.
But and maybe it's hard for me to get on it. I won't wait in line for an hour and a half to get on it. So I have not been on it actually recently. But if I had to choose my favorite, I think I'd have to go with Kilimanjaro Safaris. Like we said earlier, I do not miss it. I do not miss it.
That's a good choice. They're very different. So I can see it. For me, it was a difficult choice between the two. But I think the cutting edge technology that went into Flight of Passage just put that over the hump.
Yeah.
And it could also be because I've been on Kilimanjaro Safari so many times over the years. And I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. And every time I go to Animal Kingdom, I want to go to Kilimanjaro Safari. Unless there's an hour and a half wait, in which case it'll be like, see ya.
Yeah.
See, and that's our thing. We love riding Kilimanjaro Safari.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband even made a comment once that once you've been to Animal Kingdom and you've seen the animals in a natural habitat like they have, and that they're so well taken care of, going to a zoo is not fun anymore.
The Animal Kingdom is not a zoo.
Yeah.
Well, right. That's the thing.
There are a couple in the Northeast. There are a couple of pretty great zoos. You've got the Bronx Zoo in New York City, and you've got the Philadelphia Zoo in Pennsylvania.
You have the National Zoo in Virginia
Washington.
too, or in DC, yeah.
Hmm.
And that's a nice one.
It's just, but going to a zoo and going to Animal Kingdom is a completely different experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It is.
You've got to separate the two. So,
But people don't go to Animal Kingdom because they think of, you can see animals in your regular zoo. Then
I can see animals in my backyard.
Right.
Yeah. But there are a lot of people. That's why they came up with that. And that's why I made that joke. Not the zoo, because a lot of people were like, okay, we got to cut out one. What are we going to cut out? Let's cut out Animal Kingdom. We can go and see animals at the zoo at home.
Yeah, no.
It's not the same.
Then without doing the research, they just, it's a zoo. It's Disney's zoo.
So,
Well, we were going according to our local zoo that we would be able to go to,
Sure.
Oh,
We
yeah,
didn't
no,
have
I
the
just think
national
that's
zoo.
why it was always the fourth park.
Yeah.
For a
and
lot of
Darlene, did you
people.
mention what your favorite attraction is all time?
Yeah, Kilimanjaro Safari.
Kilimanjaro.
Yeah. I love the safari. I love seeing the different animals.
Mhm. Yeah.
I was wondering what happened to the crocodiles.
They
There
were
was
there
only
last
one
year.
in there when I went.
He was
through
hungry.
that time.
Yeah.
The rest may have been hiding. They got a lot of area they can go and hide.
One of the things I love about Animal Kingdom is that the animals in Animal Kingdom behave better than some of the adults.
You're so
Very
funny.
true.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Where do you see Animal Kingdom?
I
down the
knew
road?
you were going to ask that. I knew that
Yeah.
was going to be your next question.
Zootopia is going to be in there somewhere.
Yeah,
I think
so, too.
Zootopia is going to be in there somewhere. I've been saying that for a
absolutely.
long time.
So
Yeah,
we're going from not a zoo to Zootopia.
Yep.
That's right.
I definitely can see Zootopia in there. Aren't they doing a sequel to Zootopia?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's why I
Yep.
see it coming.
Yep. I absolutely agree with
Well,
that.
and they're working on it in one of the overseas parks too.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes. I see them experimenting there with it and then saying, okay, it worked. Let's bring that over here now.
Right.
Something that you hear from people every now and then is, I was in Hong Kong Disney, or I saw this video of this attraction, Hong Kong Disney. How come they get all the good stuff and we don't get it here? People have to remember that
Funding.
the fun. That's right. The
Well,
funding is not coming from Disney on a lot of those attractions overseas.
No.
So that's got a big part in why things are over there and not here. And you know what? I think it gives people the incentive to go over there at some point to see what they have and to see the differences between here and there. But I do understand that there's some great attractions that will come from there over here
like
time.
Tron.
like Tron.
Yeah. So
I
and
wouldn't call Tron
Tron is
great, but I haven't been.
the original Tron is from the 80s. The Tron Legacy was not a
2010.
huge hit in the theaters. Well, neither of them was a huge hit in the theaters, but the attraction is connecting with people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I
Zootopia
very much
was a
enjoyed
big
the
hit.
second one. Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
hope they
I
do.
look-
There is rumors that they are working on a third Tron, or at least it's
Yes, I've heard that.
like
We
writing
I
a
would love
script or
to see
trying it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd
But
like
we
to see
won't
them
see.
do
I
another.
don't think we'll see Tron in Animal Kingdom though.
If anybody from
I-
Disney is listening,
doubt
I know
it.
this has nothing to do with the show, but please make another Rocketeer movie. That's like my favorite Disney movie.
Oh, Rocketeer, yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say that. It's one of my favorite Disney movies.
I still have to see that.
Did you know
Not
that?
animation. Not animation.
Did you know that the female lead from the Rocketeer was in Top Gun Maverick?
Yes.
I didn't know
She
that.
was Tom Cruise's love interest in Top Gun Maverick.
Kelly McGillis?
No, in
No,
Top Gun
no.
Maverick, it was a new.
Oh,
character.
the new one. Yeah, I didn't see
What
Yeah.
that
the
one.
heck is her
Okay.
name?
Not a Tom Cruise fan.
Yeah,
Kurt's looking it
It's a
up.
great
well,
movie.
I love Tom Cruise's birthday. That's
Let me guess. You're born
no,
the same day.
we'll move right along there.
Jennifer Connelly.
Jennifer
Oh,
Connelly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jennifer. She's been
And-
a lot.
I could not recognize her between the two movies,
No.
She's more beautiful now.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
but Rocketeer, I wouldn't mind seeing an attraction about Rocketeer and seeing another, limited series or movie.
Yeah.
I'm not flying on a jetpack just for stupid.
No,
It's not happening.
well, you know what?
Right.
They've got jetpacks in The Mandalorian. So.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
I'm
They
not
could
flying
always
on those
take one of
jetpacks
those.
either. I'm still waiting for my Monsters Inc. going through the doors attraction.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that would
we
be
were
one
supposed
heck
to
of
get,
a-
and we were supposed to get that over by Toy Story Mania. It
Mm.
didn't happen.
Well, never say never. It could happen in the future.
They
time
could
will-
turn Rock and Roller Coaster into that attraction.
I don't think they're going to do that, but
Oh, it's not going to,
We
but I
already
said they
have the
could.
Monsters
Yeah, they
Inc.
could.
laugh floor in Magic, so I would probably think it would go in Magic somewhere.
That's somewhere I have not gone in at least 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just
It's
in
a
it.
long time.
Yeah, well, you get there more
Had a
often.
blast.
Yeah.
I wonder why she get. Darlene's been down here for 4 years, and she still goes to the parks as if she's here on vacation for the first time in 100 years. I can't do what you do, Darlene. I just can't. I love Disney. I love going to the parks, but I can't go as many days as you go each week. I just can't do it.
I'll be there tomorrow too. This
Yeah,
week it was 3 times.
I'll be there tomorrow night, I believe.
It's opened in 2007. Monsters
What?
Inc. Laugh Floor.
Oh,
2007. Wow.
Yeah, I like that place. It's been a while since I've been in there, only because of the lines, and it just seems like whenever we go there, the lines are too long. We miss the start of the show, so.
And you're that guy.
I was that guy once.
I know. So you're that guy.
Yeah.
I'm the rebel spy, and you're that guy.
All right. Anyway, Animal Kingdom. Is there something else you would personally like to see them do in that park, whether it's with the animals, a show, an attraction that we haven't discussed yet tonight?
I'd like to, and one of the things we didn't talk about is something that is newer since the Animal Kingdom opened, and that's Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a few years
Right.
after they opened. But what I'd like to see is a way to get from Animal Kingdom Lodge into the Animal Kingdom Park without having to take a bus and without
Right.
having to drive your car or take an
Mhm.
Uber. So it
Maybe,
makes
I don't
it
know, a
seamless.
skyway going through some of the area that would be.
I
I
could
wouldn't
definitely
mind
see
that.
them
Well,
staying
Well, you know
with
what? And you know what that would fit in with very well? Zootopia.
Zootopia.
Mhm.
yeah.
Can you imagine?
No, that would be a monorail.
It wouldn't have
That
to
was
be a
on
monorail.
that one.
It wouldn't
No, we-
have
That's
to
what it
be
was
a
in Zootopia.
monorail.
No, Zootopia was more a Skyliner type of thing. That was gondolas in Zootopia.
I thought it was.
Well,
a
I'm
I
sorry,
thought it
there
was
were
a
both. There
train.
were both.
There was
Yeah.
both.
There's
There
the
was
monorail that
train.
went the whole way around,
Right.
Yeah.
but there were the gondolas within the rainforest.
That's right.
So yeah, they did have both. But that oh boy, that would fit so well
It
to
would.
take you from the Animal Kingdom Lodge into the park through some kind of transportation like a monorail or Skyliner.
Mhm. Yeah, that would be great. Kurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, what would you like to see them like?
What
Yeah, anything.
I said I wanted to, I figured they were adding. I actually said the Zootopia in 25 years.
Mm.
Oh, well,
That's what I
something we
expected.
haven't discussed tonight. What would you like to see them add?
I was the one that brought that up. That's how it became the discussion.
Right.
So
but we're not
something
discussing-
else I wanted to add.
Yes.
They got to do something in the Chester and Hester area. It's got to be added in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where Zootopia could go.
Right.
Absolutely. And I think that's where it is going to go.
Mm.
And
How about
that's
this?
what I
They
said
also-
earlier.
They need a third attraction. They need a third attraction in Pandora.
So yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if they have the room for it though.
Oh, there's
Unless
room
they can
behind.
go
I
back.
thought they always had planned to have a third one.
Yeah.
There
I
is
thought
room
they had a
behind.
pad there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It might be behind. You know what? There is an area that's kind of like a to the right of the Navi River. There's that whole forest area there. Maybe I don't know how far back that goes. I'm wondering if there's space back there where they can put a third attraction.
They can do something with video screen. They've got video screens so big now.
They do.
Do something where you're underwater, going through the tubes with whatever this. I still haven't seen the new attraction or the new movie. I just know it's all underwater.
Yeah, I haven't
They
seen
could
the new
easily
movie
do
either.
something with that.
I did hear them say that the third movie is going to tie everything in from Pandora with the movies. What that is, I don't know.
Gotcha.
It looks like they have some space, but they'd have to get rid of a parking lot.
Oh.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe a smaller attraction building past Satuli Canteen.
Yeah, there's room there.
Not a lot, because they have a lot of backstage buildings and
Correct.
roadways for infrastructure. But I think they could, depending on the
Ooh,
nature of the
lights just
attraction.
flickered. Did you see that?
What's
No.
that?
My lights just flickered.
Oh,
No, didn't see that. When the storm was heading here, you guys on my side, I'm sure the viewers, when they look at this on YouTube, won't see it. All you guys were frozen. And I'm thought like, okay, great. I'm hoping the connection doesn't get lost, and it didn't, but at least not yet. But, Darlene, what would you like to see come in?
Well,
Something we haven't
Like I
discussed.
said, I've been saying I would like to see them do something with the Chester and Hester site and put a Zootopia ride in there.
Yeah, but that we discussed. So, is there something that we haven't discussed that, if you can't think of anything, that's
Well,
okay.
that was always mine. I've been
always
talking
Kurt's,
about
too.
that for a long time. I think actually, and if they're going to do that, I would like to see them do something with like an Italian restaurant or something with the little mafia mice and stuff. I think that would be fun.
oh man.
I don't know how well that fits in there, but okay.
Or the big donut guy.
I'm surprised none of you brought this up. Where they had that kite show. I want to see them do something there. Bring in some, whether it's dolphins or something. Do something there. And I mentioned that in the previous show.
Water ski show.
Could be a water ski show. Could be anything.
It's not a big enough area for that.
It's definitely a big enough area if they do a dolphin show there. It really is, because that doesn't take up that much space. They would have to change things out and put pools and kind of stuff.
That's it. You cannot have the water has to be like purified, basically.
Yeah.
You cannot have it because
wouldn't look
saltwater
right.
are saltwater animals.
Yeah.
I know.
It wouldn't
You
look
can't
right.
have them in there.
Yeah, but they could do something. They could put, maybe they can put a stage over, or put a stage floor over where the lake is there at night and do a stage show.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
if they could
Quiet stage show, not to
reimagine Rivers of Light
Mhm.
to make it more interesting. They
Right.
made an attempt, and it wasn't fully baked, and it didn't work.
Right.
But they've done other kinds of shows on rivers before, and they have to be mindful of the animals. They can't, have too loud noises and that kind of thing.
Right. Oh, I know that. I get that. But I definitely think there's something they can do there, which would also serve as a people eater of sorts.
True.
And so could Rafiki's Planet Watch.
Yeah. Oh,
There's
absolutely.
more they can do there.
Yeah. I think a
Absolutely.
lot of people forget that Rafiki's Planet Watch is even back there.
Yep,
And the
I
petting
agree.
zoo is back there.
Yeah. Yep.
And I know we talked before about doing even Zootopia area back there, but I mean, that is the backstage area for Kilimanjaro Safari.
Mm-hmm.
And they really can't do a lot back there because of that. That's like the quiet area for the animals. So they have to be careful. You don't want a lot of screaming and stuff like
right?
that. Yeah. That's what the hospital is that you're going to look in and see them doing the different surgeries and just physicals on their animals and stuff. As much as I'd love to see Zootopia back there, I don't think it's the right area.
You know what they could put back there in a small space? A restaurant, whether it's a counter service.
I was going to say another restaurant.
Yeah. And you know what? How cool is that? You take the train for the one stop or two stops, whatever it is, one stop.
It's one stop.
Get off there, and there's your restaurant.
And you could watch them, the animals in the petting zoo or something.
Yep.
I thought you were going to say you could watch them do surgery while you're eating. I was going to go, Darlene, no. Hey, here's this liver. Hey, we're going to cook it up for you here now.
Yeah.
No.
We're all grateful for Animal Kingdom being 25 years old. We're all grateful it's still there. We are all grateful it's thriving in the parks and that visitors are exploring and getting educated and having fun. And we hope it has another 250 years there, giving us great entertainment and education on what these animals are, how they've gotten there, and I love the fact they announce and put out there the new names of all the animals too. So that's one thing I do. All right, that's going to do it for us this week. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts or some other service, or you watch us on YouTube, please give us preferably a thumbs up, but I'm okay if you give us a thumbs down. Just like or subscribe to the show so we can get more I can't think
listeners and viewers.
More listeners and viewers, yeah. So we can stretch a little bit further out, and we're not trying to make any money here off the show. We're just trying to bring people some good Disney entertainment and news from a fan's perspective. All right.
Even if it just helps you listen to it to help fall asleep at night.
Yeah, that too. All right, we're out of here. Everybody have a great rest of the week, a great weekend. Till next time, bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
I just thought of a way to pull together Tarzan Rocks, Which You Miss, and the fact that we have both of our shows in one night now. So what I have to share with everybody is 2 worlds, 1 family. Good night, everybody.
Have a magical night. Stay safe. Pack your umbrellas and ponchos along with that sunscreen.